You know what I find insane? This physique used to be considered elite back then, right? Christian Bale starring in the 2005 Batman Begins. And if you don't know, he was actually very anorexic with the role he played beforehand, right? Called The Machinist. Here's a picture of that. And yeah, that's a different story. He was for sure abusing PEDs, but that's a whole different topic, right? Anyways, I remember this physique clearly like it was yesterday. People were like, damn, dude, he looks amazing. And mind you, he still does look amazing, but compared to today's standards, right? He's like nothing compared to these kids on social media, right? It's like it's a new kid or a new person every day with like insane proportions, insane insertions. They got cat delts, their traps are bulging, their pecs are 3D. It's just insane, right? And another good example of someone who I believe was like insane looking and who still does hold up pretty good today is Tobey Maguire in the first Spider-Man movie, right? I thought dude looked diced. I thought he looks good and he still does look good, but again, he's dwarfed by the bodybuilders of today's day and age, right? And it really got me thinking like, wow, like we really like increase the standards, right? Like, and especially like in bodybuilding and in the movies, right? The goal is pretty much we want you to look as inhuman as possible. We really want you to look like a superhero, right? Because again, you gotta. Here's Wolverine, right? Like Hugh Jackman at age 50 plus. I didn't even know what his age was, but it was in the Deadpool movie, and his shirt exploded, and you see his diced like abs, right? Obviously his diet was in check. Obviously his workout program was insane, right? Dialed in. He has the money to afford these expensive, dietitians, these coaches and stuff like that. And obviously his genetics are pretty freaking, amazing. But again, we got to also assume like, dude, this dude's again above the age of 50. Yes, you can grow muscle as an older adult, but there's no way you're going to be diced more than some of these dudes who, compete bodybuilding for a living, all right, that are natural and be more diced than them, right? Without the use of PEDs. Because at some point, you just can't just sum it up to hard work. That's just insane, right? And it goes to show like how far we came and how like insane it is that the use of performance enhancing drugs is just more normal now. Like the normalcy of it, like we have kids. I remember having a teenager come up telling me like, dude, you're strong, man. But this kid I know, he's actually stronger than you. And I'm like, oh damn, how long has he been training? He was like a year. And I was like, oh damn, wow. How's he that strong as a teenager in high school? And he's like, because he takes Rad 140. And if you don't know, Rad 140 is something called a SARM, right? A selective androgen receptor modulator. So it pretty much binds to your androgen receptors, right? And it's a performance enhancer, right? It's an anabolic agent that rapidly increases muscle and strength gains. And I'm just thinking, this kid's like going through puberty, right? Where you are naturally increasing your testosterone, and he's taking this while his hormones are going rampant. And this thing is known to disrupt your hormones. Like, how dumb can you, or not even dumb, how irresponsible can you be, right? But then again, a lot of these kids aren't thinking, right? And it's sad. And it goes back to my point, like, our standards have changed so much, right? Like, to thinking Tobey Maguire and Christian Bale, right? They were elite, but now in today's age, they're like well below average in terms of bodybuilding and stuff like that. And how people are like, we got to get freakier, we got to get leaner, we got to get drier, we got to get just more aesthetic. And it really puts you in a really bad spot in terms of health, right? A lot of people are like, oh, I work out and I get stronger and healthier, or not even stronger or not even healthier, right? Because it's not healthy at all, right? A lot of people need to understand, like, when you're doing bodybuilding and you're going for the most gnarliest look, not only are these PEDs, like, they're ramping up your strength, right? But they're also ramping up the side effects, right? Your heart is a muscle. That's getting bigger. That's not good. Number one reason of, death from steroid abuse is heart failure. And then again, not checking your blood levels. Because if anything, if you're on performance enhancing drugs, you want to check your blood work pretty much daily, right? Because everything is being enhanced and not just the good stuff. And yeah, it's just really sad to see how standards have risen so much that people need to have the urge to pump up like their body with the newest compound, right? And again, those compounds are labeled research compounds because we don't know the like long-term side effects of these things. We do know the short term, and that's like, you know, freaking heart failure, right? If used for a little too long. And it's really, really disheartening, sad. And I think we need to do better, right? I know our standards have increased so much, but we're putting a lot of like the younger generation at risk. And again, it is very, very sad, and we just need to do better. But that's my 2 cents on all of this. And yeah, I really hope you guys are doing good. If you have any comments, questions, just comment down below. And I really appreciate you guys.